Alright, this is a preview of the Quemahoming Classic 5K, 10K. It starts here at Summer's Best 2 weeks. Back that road, past that gate, maybe a 1/10 of a mile is where you start underneath the pavilion. The gate's closed right now, so I'm just going to drive this whole course. Race is held in the fall. So you start off and you make this left, going downhill. First half of the race is pretty much all downhill. There's a little bit of flat, really no incline at all. The 10K itself, I'll go over this real quick, is an out and back. The 5K is just straight down the hill. So if you want to do the 5K and go for a PR, this is a really good course for a 5K PR, since it's downhill and you can get all this free speed. Now right here, as I say, there's no uphill. This is just a gradual uphill, but it's more of a bump at anything because you're already going back down. There's not really a steep decline, but it's just a steady down the whole time for the 5K. It may look at times in the video that you're going up. I'll point it out if we do, but this is all down. There are some sharp corners, so if you hug the inside, you could save a few feet, shave those fractions of a second here and there that will add up, like this one. But then you come out of it, you cut the tangent real quick to the left hand side. Got to run that straight line. Keep hugging the left. As you straighten it out, then you can come to the right hand side again. Traffic is pretty much controlled during the race. Let's see, we got I guess you could call this a little bit of an incline, but it's still really not. It's basically flat, but you're going downhill again already. And they have a couple different firemen and stuff on the couple roads on the left that come on the left-hand side right now, like stopping traffic for the first hour of the race. Well, for the entirety of the race. That we don't have to worry about a car coming fast behind you or around a blind spot during the race. Because as you see, some of these corners are pretty sharp. That'd just be a dangerous situation if they didn't. But again, if you hug the corners and you try to make it straight S, you can really get some speed and save some time. Got some nice views along the course as well. You do got a little bit of a bump right now. You're going to go up. Just makes you switch gears real quick before you go right back down. Again, you can really fly on this course if you want to go for a PR. This is probably your best bet in the Johnstown, Indiana, Altoona, Greensburg, Latrobe Way for a PR for a 5K. If you don't mind the downhillness. Some people say it's going to at least be flat or have some incline to it. But if you just want like a downhill where you can just turn and burn, this is a good one. Definitely would recommend it if you're all about just trying to beat your 5K best time. Alright, we're coming down to the end. Right about the bridge is where the finish line is going to be for the 5K. Right around in this area. And that would be your 5K Quee Classic course. I'll turn around and I'll do the 10K to show you the view you'll see on the way back. They do have a water stop down here for the 10K and 5K since it's the finish. If I remember right, it's on the right hand side going back. Just like right past this building, like say where this big tree is going to be on your right hand side. So again, real quick, this is like the finish line area here. The water stop's usually by this big tree right there on the right hand side. So now we head back up. So it's pretty much up the whole way back since we were down the whole way down. You will feel it a little bit in your legs right in here. A lot of it has to do with the gears that you're just switching from, because you're doing all that downhill and then you're still switching to your up here muscles. So if they don't kick in right away, you're going to burn a lot more. But it's still a good incline right now. But it does level out just a tad here. Well, we'll call it level-ish. So if your legs burn, this is a nice quick recovery section to make sure you're fully kicked into the hill. Now with the Quee Classic, again, the 5K, we showed you where the finish line is. The 10K goes the whole way back up. You got your little bump around the dam. You got a little bit of a downhill again right here before we just go back up. To finish the 10K, you go back to Summer's Best 2 weeks and finish under the pavilion again. So the last, we'll say, 10th to 2/10 is like a flattish, fast finish on gravel road. The rest is all on the asphalt, as you see so far. Now, a unique thing about this race is they have a feature called Beat the Bus. I'm not going to point out too much because you can see it on the way down what's going on. Just hug the corners if you can and cut the S's into a straight line. They have the Beat the Bus feature, which you basically have to make a cutoff at the bottom of the hill. If not, they stop you, because the 5Kers have to be bused back to Summer's Best 2 weeks. So they can't have runners, you know, on the course while buses are trying to navigate this. So that's what they call it, beat the bus. That's what it means. You basically have to beat a cutoff at the bottom of the hill. And if you don't, they pull you, and then you have to ride the bus back with the rest of the 5K. So if you're running the 5K, you might have to wait down at the bottom for, I don't know what it is, maybe 20 minutes if you're like the fastest. You know, if you're the first one down, you're going to have a longer wait. Got a little stretch right here where you can recover. Now I know right now, you see this curve. This is about when your legs are going to start to feel a good burn right now. Gets a little bit steeper of an incline. Especially because you're what, like, we'll call it 4.5, 5 miles into the race. So you burned all your energy going down. Now you're trying to spend some more coming back up when it gets a little bit steeper. But it's a fun course. You should get some really good splits, at least on the downhill. It's not terribly inclined. I would just say a couple hundred feet, because there's no real major hill. It's just steadiness going down and steadiness coming back. And the beat the bus features just kind of something different for the area, because we really don't have that at all within like a 50-mile radius. There's usually a lot of bathrooms too, well, porta-johns. There's also a lot of good food. They usually have all kinds of chips, milk, teas, usually some subs, some cinnamon rolls. It draws a lot of people too for the food. The shirts are usually nice. Everything's usually organized really well. I have never seen anything to complain about. We're coming up on the entrance to Summer's Best 2 weeks on the left-hand side. Then again, once you enter Summer's Best 2 weeks, you basically have a maybe a 10th left in the race, you know, past that gate. You go underneath the pavilion. That'd be your finish and your start. That's your Quid Classic 5K, 10K race course preview. If you have any questions, send them to me. It's pretty straightforward. Again, the roads are going to be closed for the race, so you don't have to worry about traffic. And if you want a good PR 5K course, this is probably your best bet within, again, another 50-mile radius. Unless you want to go to Pittsburgh and do that one. But other than that, hopefully you guys come out and do it this year. There's usually a good crowd. There's always a couple hundred people from when I've done it. I would say probably 3 to 4 range. 3 to 400, I think, is usually about what I remember. I could be wrong on that, but it does get a lot of people of all ages, abilities and whatnot, having a good time. So hopefully you come out and do it this year.